Now I gotta admit, I've never been too scared to drive a car before, but that's because I've never driven something this big. Yeah, that is the Hummer EV SUV, and this thing is absolutely gargantuan. Right here, we're looking at the 2-motor spec. It still comes in at around 9,000 pounds. This one as spec is $90,000, but it is not bad at all. If you ask me, its interior is a little bit ostentatious with this gold trim all over the place, but at the same time, I like it, and I think that it complements the car quite well. Now, it does have physical controls, although they aren't exactly how you would think of it. Instead of having a dial for the intensity of the fan, you just keep pressing this up or down, and then that's gonna tell you how high you want this air conditioning. Same thing over here. That's going to tell you your temperature, all that kind of stuff. I like the little animation that it does. That's pretty fun. So, I mean, these are physical dials. Again, it's just not conventionally how you would think of them. Kind of gives you what you want, not quite. There is a physical volume dial here, but if you want to change the stations, you do have to go through the menu, so you win some, you lose some. Honestly, sitting in it, it feels totally fine in terms of interior space. I'm a bit of a bigger guy, and I mean, there's more than enough legroom for me. So I think unless you are a 1%er in the height department like Shaquille O'Neal, this is going to be more than enough car for you. There is a physical recharge button here for regenerative braking. You can drive this one pedal setup where you just lift and it's going to regen, or you can just manually harvest it right here. Personally, I don't know a reason to do this as opposed to just having the one pedal setup. Maybe it's for people who aren't comfortable with one pedal driving. This gets you the same thing. This does have the infinite roof with the transparent sky panel, and honestly, I dig it both ways. I love taking the top down here in Southern California, but even if we leave it on, you can still see the world around you, but also get the protection. And even better yet, it all stores in the front. And speaking of the hood, you can remotely open and close it by double pressing and holding this button right there as we watch it drop. And you can do the same thing with the rear here, which, as far as I'm aware, doesn't actually have a physical latch to open, but this is a decent bed area. Even then, you can drop the stuff down just like that with these buttons here. Same thing on the left side. Okay, doesn't want to go, but you know what? Trust me, it happened earlier. But you also have this topographic pattern that seems to line basically all of the floors here, and it kind of adds to the idea that this is a rugged vehicle. I don't know how many people actually take it out in rugged situations. It's certainly LARPing as it. I mean, with this one, it does have these Goodyear Wrangler 35-inch all-terrain tires. I'm sure it's enough to get you out of a sticky situation. And on top of that, this thing can actually lift its air suspension 6 inches if it needs to. So it'll really get you out of there if you need to. Now, if we go to the back seat, this is one of my disappointments because this car is so freaking massive, and yet it doesn't feel like it from the back seats. Again, at 6'2", I only have about a foot between me and the driver's seat here. Yes, I have it reclined all the way back, but even if I put it forward, it was not much better than this. But while we're back here, we got USB-C, we have traditional USB, and even down here, we have ourselves a little traditional wall outlet. And there's one in the back too, so if you're camping or something like that, or if you have screenagers, there's no doubt that they can charge their stuff and play Fortnite on the road. And speaking of on the road, how's about we drive this thing, huh? All right, now first things first, just getting into it, I gotta say that it is blind spot city inside of this car. All these windows, they do feel a little bit smaller than what I would like it to be considering how high up we are. I got my Corvette parked next to me here. I have to really look to see that thing next to me. It's a super small rear window here. Even then, you have the spare tire, which is taking up half of your view. So yeah, visibility is not exactly what I would like it to be on a vehicle of this size. Again, it's about 9,000 pounds. And I mean, that is a 0 to 60, that's, if I'm not mistaken, 3.5 seconds. It's a lot of vehicle that can go very fast, and I would like to see what I'm going fast around. 14 speaker Bose setup in here. I don't know, let's see how it goes.
I love my dog.
All right, well, it passes the bump it in the whip test. It sounds pretty darn good. But yeah, let's actually get this thing going. Already just turning out of the spot, it's incredibly nimble. I cut the wheel hard left. It's got 4-wheel steering in this thing, and that's gonna help to make it feel a little bit smaller than it is. And I would say so far, mission accomplished. Doesn't feel like the incredibly long, massive machine that it is. Ooh, okay, using that paddle to regenerative brake, yeah, I do not have to use the brakes. I can just press that down, and then the car is stopping for me by pressing it. And if I hold it, there we go. It is actually like fully stopping me. And if I release, let's see if it creeps forward. Does not creep forward, so I think then I just have to re-engage the acceleration pedal the gas pedal, although this isn't gas. This little instrument cluster here isn't bad. I mean, it just feels like a iPad. I mean, I think it's cooler than some of them. It's a really floaty ride so far, just kind of bounding along. It's interesting because of how wide this thing is. I don't feel like I'm actually in the center of my lanes at all. I just feel like I'm really encroaching either side of it no matter what. Like, even if I am in the center, I feel like I'm on the left and I'm on the right. It's just a big ride. Let me just... I'm uncomfortable with how fast that can go. Because of the size of this thing, I feel like it's a car that you're gonna need to rely on the driver assistance features, because that Hyundai just drove by and I could barely see it in my mirror. Same with that Chevy Impala right there. It's just, every car kind of just appears on you. So if it wasn't for the fact that I have the little like blind spot monitoring and all that kind of stuff, I don't know how much I would see things. But even then, the car is so wide, this dashboard, I mean, it looks like it's 3, maybe 4 feet across. I have to like consciously turn my head to see it over there. Versus I feel like cars that I've had in the past or other cars that I've driven, I'm able to see that blind spot monitoring, that little yellow blinker come up without actually paying attention to it. It's just like perpetually there in my peripheral vision. Versus this, like I'm seeing basically nothing but the road ahead of me. I mean, I see stuff on the left, but that mirror over there, it's like, no, that's a head turn. I have to clock it 90 degrees right. I'm gonna stab at the throttle again. Oh my God, you could just feel all of the inertia and all the weight transfer back so heavily, which, I mean, that's how all driving works, whether you're a race car driver or whatever, like you just feel the balance if you stab at the throttle of something. But because of how big this is, it feels like there's a wave of tsunami that's crashing over you in terms of this weight transfer. It's kind of insane. Right here, it's giving me like a general compass of everything that's going on. It's giving me my exact coordinates over here. So, I mean, I guess all this is kind of cool and useful if you are outdoors. Say you're in a bad situation, you can just immediately tell people precisely where you are. So, kind of rad. That regen paddle, I mean, it feels like you're more aggressively stabbing at the brakes as well. It's just all of a sudden you're hitting the brake super hard, but I don't know. It's probably something you would get used to. I'm sure it's a little bit more tame if you were to daily drive such a vehicle. So like a lot of cars these days, especially a lot of your bigger SUVs, this does have one of those pretty comprehensive, almost 360-degree cameras. Let's see. If you use it as a trail cam, I'm sure that's also lovely. Personally, I don't like it for trail cam. I am a off-roading purist. I feel like just get good. But I mean, it's there. I think this is useful generically, again, because of the size. But I mean, right now I'm seeing I am actually in the middle of my lane. Now, when David and I were at the preview of the Lucid Gravity, one thing they kept talking about was just how much smarter they are in terms of their battery technology. They're able to give you smaller battery packs that just have such higher efficiency. And if I'm not mistaken, on the Gravity, it has a 124 kilowatt hour battery, and it's able to get you up to 450 miles of range. This one's battery, the max range that it can get across the two options is 315 miles, which for a battery that's so much larger than something like the Lucid Gravity and getting less range, I mean, it just goes to show that this is such an excessive vehicle that really isn't all that efficient. And you're going to be paying more with a battery like this probably. I mean, it's so expensive to cram a battery like that of this size into a vehicle, and it just is only going to add to weight, and you have to start restructuring things. Like, all of it is just going to be an Ouroboros where it's going to constantly be eating its own tail and just building on top of itself. And it's a positive feedback loop of rising prices, of rising weight, of rising everything. That's not to say that I expect GMC to just immediately get Lucid level technology and just boom, light switch, make something that's infinitely more efficient and significantly lighter and yada, yada, yada. That's a hard ask. Lucid's filled with nothing but just super nerdy, really cool engineers. But this thing, it's dumb range because they just threw a bigger battery pack at it as opposed to better batteries. I do like these sky panels here, and I'm able to see up out of it. I'm sure this feels great driving through a city as well. You're just able to see the massive skyscrapers, or if you're going through somewhere like Yosemite, making the loop out there, I'm sure that this would be an absolutely stunning car to be in. I wanna crab walk you. That's all I wanna do. I wanna crab walk you. Ooh, one button drops all of the windows at once. That's kind of fun. Look at the mode dial. Kicking up dirt? Absolutely. Paved roads? No. Respect the watts. Use off-road only. I mean, these animations are pretty sick. If I'm not mistaken, they were made in Unreal Engine 4, so it looks great. If nothing else, I got like a video game on my screen here. Oh, did my rear window go down? Is that a thing? Ha! My rear window went down. Be good for your dog, poke his head out of. I mean, this seat is really comfy. I'm sure I could take a road trip in this and be a very happy man for a very long time. I would feel bad for any of your taller friends who are sitting in the back, but that's a them problem and not a you problem. I've been told I'm a bad friend, by the way, so maybe that's evident by the fact that I don't care if their knees are smashed. Syphilis, syphilis, syphilis. There's a lot of buttons here. Not a lot of explanation of the buttons. I feel oppressed. I don't.
I'll tell you how oppression feels.
Even though these are physical buttons, I'm still having to observe it way too much to make sure that I'm actually pressing the right one, because it's not just a knob that's like, oh, this is the one for air conditioning, like the fan speed and all that kind of stuff. Yes, they're right above it, but it's not as intuitive as just having the button itself, because now I'm having to read and then press up or down, like I gotta flick my switches. Yeah, no, that window's definitely open, and I definitely have no clue how to close. Oh, is that it? Hey! Look at that. See, it's all starting to make sense now. Again, though, this car is so big. I mean, I have to reach for all that. I mean, I couldn't see what all those things were until I looked under it. Ooh, we're gonna make a U-turn at the next light. All right, now's my chance. Let's hit this. Okay, this GMC in front of us had to make a very wide turn to do it. Oh my gosh, that turning radius is crazy. See, that Yukon in front of us, they had to swing out right a little bit to make it happen, but not me. I cranked the wheel all the way over, and it was like a tank on tracks. It just rotated around itself. It was a perfect pivot around the median. You know, an FJ Cruiser just drove by, and I never realized that it feels like these almost have a similar profile facade to them. The FJ Cruiser is probably a little bit more timeless and a little more elegant, maybe. Although I remember not liking the FJ Cruiser when I was young. I always thought it was a wonky looking car. But as time gone on, I'm like, no, it's actually pretty rad. I respect the FJ. Driving this, I respect it a little bit more. I never disrespected it. It's just a lot, an exercise in excess. Hey, one of my buddies just drove by. Do you think that there's a Hummer EV wave? I feel like because this whole thing is just, you know, excessive American, maybe it's just like you flash a bicep or something like that. If there isn't one, I want to make it a thing now. So once this video comes out, take notes. If you have a Hummer EV SUV and you see another one, you gotta flash bicep to say hi. Okay, so after driving this for a good 30, 40 minutes or so, it's a good car. That's the shortest review that somebody can give. Jokes aside, good might be the perfect word to describe the Hummer EV SUV. It was plenty comfortable from the driver's seat, has a nice interior with probably my favorite roof of all time, and plenty of storage to handle daily living and camping trips alike. At the risk of digging up a dead horse and beating it some more, the size is really the only thing I can knock it for. Its height with that weight will make for insane amounts of body roll on acceleration and hard turning, and sure, it's shockingly agile thanks to the four-wheel steering, but the fact that I'm unsure of what lane I'm in and I'm struggling to see the traffic around me, the car just makes for a mentally uncomfortable ride. Maybe this crab just isn't meant to walk. Either way, I'll be flexing my bicep at the next Hummer I see on the road. Thanks for watching.